Yes guys, how are we all doing today? We're back with another video. This week, Game Week 14 predictions. The weekend just gone, Game Week 13. I did say it was going to be very hard to get a lot of winners in the pre-match because of the international break. You know, players, you can't really go by form, and players have got fatigue from all the travelling. And that was shown in the results. You know, there was a few games which didn't go our way, but there we go. Now we're on to Game Week 14. We've got a bit more form to go by. Players are back in their routine, so we should get some more solid results. Before we dive in, if this is your first time here and you're into football betting, you love football, then this is the channel to be. So make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and check out all my other videos. I give you loads of hints and tips about how I find my bets and what tools I use. They're very handy, so go and check them out. So we've got 10 games, 5 games on Saturday, 5 games on Sunday. And we're going to dive in straight away with the Arsenal versus Wolves game. So Arsenal come back from the break and they get a 1-0 win away to Brentford. So that's a solid result for them. Brentford's always tough to beat. And Wolves, they had a game against Fulham. Very unlucky for them. They lost it, but there was a few controversial ref decisions which didn't go their way. Nothing new there when it comes to refs. So they lost out, but they were unlucky. Arsenal have won their last 4 games at home and they've only conceded 1 goal in these games. Wolves away from home, they're not doing so good. They've only won 1 game out of the last 5. And in this fixture last year, Arsenal won 5-0. So they thrashed them last year. Can they do it again this year? Who knows? Now, we usually see over 1.5 goals when these two teams play each other. In the last 16 head-to-heads, 14 of them ended in over 1.5 goals. And 8 out of 16 were both teams to score. So it's not loads of goals, but a fair amount. So with that in mind, with the form and the goals, we're going with an Arsenal to win and over 1.5 goals in the match. I did think about doing a -1 handicap, but I think it'd be closer than that. I don't know if Arsenal will win by 2 goals. So if we do an Arsenal win and over 1.5, at least then they can win 2-1, 3-2, etc. So the odds of that are 1.44. Next we have Brentford versus Luton. Brentford come into this game losing 2 games in a row, but to be fair, they did have tough games. You know, they had Liverpool away, they lost 3-0, and then they had the Arsenal game we just spoke about, losing 1-0. Luton will be buzzing this week after beating Crystal Palace 2-1, so fair play to them. But this will be tough. It will be tough for them. Every game's tough, but you know, Brentford away is a tough game. The last head-to-head was back in 2021, so we won't look into that too much, but Brentford did win it 1-0. 3 out of the last 5 games at home for Brentford have ended in over 2.5 goals. And it's the same for Luton away from home. They've had 3 games out of the 5 with over 2.5 goals. Brentford's defence is a bit dodgy at home. Out of the 5 games, 4 of them they have conceded. And Luton's away scoring record, that's it, is not too bad. In the last 5 games, they've scored in 3 of them. So, with Luton buzzing to pick up 3 points, getting that win, I think they'll come into this game with a bit of confidence, and I think they will score. So we're going with Luton just to score 1 or more goals, and odds of that are 1.67. Next up, we have Burnley versus Sheffield. Massive game for both. Points in this match are vital for both. At the end of the season, you know, it could be very fine margins. It could be 1 or 2 points. So a win here, very important. So Burnley come into this game after losing to my West Ham. Lovely. They were unlucky. It was a very boring game, to be fair. We got quite lucky. We played crap, and we somehow managed to nick the win. But their confidence is going to be pretty low after that, I think, because they thought they had the 3 points in the bag. Their first win at home, I believe it would have been, and nope. Sheffield also lost at home. They lost 3-1 to Bournemouth. In his fixture last season, when they were in the Championship, Burnley won 2-0. I feel like this is the week Burnley finally get their win. I do think they're going to get it. They were unlucky against West Ham. I know their confidence is probably a bit low, but I don't know. I can see them winning this. This is their best chance of winning at home this season so far, and they've got to grab it. It's so important, and the odds of that are 1.73, and I think they'll do it. Next up, we've got Nottingham Forest versus Everton. Another big game here in the lower end of the table after, you know, Everton got them points deducted. Forest have won just 1 game in their last 5 overall. Everton were on good form until their 3-0 loss to Man United. So the point deduction ended up having a very bad effect on them last week. However, Everton's away form is very good. In the last 5 games, they've won 4 of them, with their only loss being to Liverpool. So away from home, they're doing really well. Forest's home results have been okay, but they tend to draw a lot. And in their most recent game, they lost 3-2 to Brighton. That's their most recent home game. Now, when they played each other both times last year, they both ended in draws with both teams scoring. So one of the games was 1-1 and the other was 2-2. 4 out of the 5 recent home games for Forest have all ended with both teams scoring. And 3 out of the 5 away games for Everton have ended with both teams scoring. So, I think it's going to be a close game. I'm not sure who's going to win it, but going by recent results and last season's head-to-head, we are going to go with both teams to score, and the odds of that are 1.75. Next up, we have a late kickoff on the Saturday, and that is Newcastle versus Man United. Tasty game, tasty game. Newcastle come into this game after smashing Chelsea 4-1, so they're going to be full of confidence. And Man United will be feeling quite similar after beating Everton 3-0 away from home. Now, these teams played each other not that long ago in the Cup, when Newcastle beat Man United 3-0 at Old Trafford. I also put this tip out in the premium group, so we won some good money from that. Man United's form away from home is very good, winning 4 out of the 5 last away games, and the loss being to Copenhagen. And Newcastle's home form is the same. They've won 4 out of the last 5, with the loss being to Dortmund. And the last 4 head-to-heads, none of them have ended with both teams scoring. But with Man United doing so well scoring away from home, I'm going to avoid that bet, because I think there's a good chance of both teams scoring here. I know it hasn't happened in the last 4, but I can see it happening in this one. But what we are going to go for is a goal to be scored in each half, and the odds of that are 1.57. So that's all the games for Saturday. Before we move on to Sunday, I just want to quickly mention I am away on holiday from this week on Friday until Friday next week. So I'm hoping I can get a video out on Monday whilst I'm away for the Tuesday matches, okay? Tuesday and Wednesday matches. It's a bit of an awkward one, but I'm hoping I'll still have a video out. If not, I will be putting tips inside the free Telegram channel, and the link is in the description below. I will be dropping some more in-play insights in the free Telegram account from now on. I posted one the other day. I said this game was going to have plenty of goals. Gave you guys a quick heads up at kickoff, and we had a first half goal, we had over 2.5 goals, and we have both teams scoring. So you must have won some money in there, guys. If you're in there, you must have won some money. I want to post some more of them free little bets in there for you. So if you're not in there, click the link in the description below, and I'll see you in there. So first game on the Sunday, Bournemouth versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa are doing very well, grabbing that win away to Spurs, sitting fourth, trying their best to get that Champions League spot. And if they carry on like this, they'll get it. They're doing very well. Bournemouth, they sit 16th. However, they have won their last 2 games, and they were against Newcastle and away to Sheffield. So they're starting to turn their fortunes around. Villa's away form is very good, only losing 1 out of the last 5 games. And Bournemouth's home form is a bit up and down, but they have won 2 out of the last 5. However, in the reverse fixture, Bournemouth beat them 2-0. 4 out of the 5 last Bournemouth home games have all ended with over 2.5 goals. Out of the 5, only 1 ended with over 3.5 goals. Now, when it comes to Villa, in their last 5 games, only 1 of them ended with over 3.5 goals. Now, with Villa playing in Europe, I think they're going to be a little bit fatigued. So I don't think there'll be as many goals in this one. And we're going to play it safe. We're going to go with under 3.5 goals in this game, and the odds of that are 1.57. Next up, we have Liverpool versus Fulham. Liverpool's form, I say in every video, it's not changing. Their home form is brilliant, winning every single game at home and scoring 2 or more goals in every single one of them. Now, they come into this game after a 1-1 draw away to City, so very good result for them, very good. Fulham's most recent game was the 3-2 win at home to Wolves, but it was close. You know, you could say it was lucky. Now, there doesn't tend to be many goals when these 2 games meet. Only 12 out of 20 have ended in over 1.5 goals, and just 8 out of 20 being over 2.5 goals. And 7 out of the 20 ended with both teams scoring. Liverpool in the last 5 games have kept 4 clean sheets, and like I said earlier, they just score so well at home at the moment. So with this all being said, we are going to go with Liverpool to win with a -1 handicap, so they've got to win by 2 or more goals, and the odds of that are 1.67. Next up, we have Chelsea versus Brighton. Chelsea are not in great form at the moment, only winning 1 out of their last 5. Brighton have gone 4 games without a loss, but 3 of them were draws. And this one's tough because you never really know what Chelsea are going to turn up, because they've got really good players. It's just they're taking their time trying to gel. Brighton have scored away from home in their last 6 games, and Chelsea have scored in 4 out of the last 5 home games, with the last game being the 4-4 draw to Man City. So I can see both teams scoring here, and we're going with that, and the odds are 1.5. Next, we have my boys West Ham versus Palace. Now, I hate doing this every week because I've got to try and be unbiased as possible, but it is hard. It is hard. So our form is picking up. Out of the last 5 games, we've won 5 of them. Palace's form, not so good. Losing 4 out of their 5 last games. And their most recent loss was against Luton. So West Ham at home, we've won 3 in a row now, whereas Crystal Palace, their away form, not so good. They've won 2 out of the last 5. Palace did actually do a double over us last season, winning 4-3 and 2-1. So close games, but we lost. So without being biased, I'll try my best not to. But if we look by form only and West Ham's home form, which is very good, we're going to go over West Ham win, and the odds of that are 1.83. Last game of the week, Man City versus Spurs. So Spurs come into this with a pretty bad run. They've lost 3 games in a row now, and the most recent being the 2-1 loss to Villa. Man City haven't lost for 7 games now, stretching all the way back to the 8th of October when they lost to Arsenal. And they haven't lost at all at home all season. In this fixture last year at the Etihad, Man City won 4-2, but they did lose at Spurs 1-0. Now, I do think City will win this, but the odds are very low, 1.25 at the moment. Which, I think that's a bit unfair to Tottenham. I don't think it should be as low as that. But what I do like the look of is the fact that Spurs have scored in every away game this season, and most of them, they've actually scored more than 1 goal. So, pretty good. Now, Man City, they don't concede at home a lot. However, they did concede to Liverpool, Bournemouth, Brighton and Fulham in the league. They didn't concede a lot in them games. I think it was like 1 goal in each game, but they still conceded. So we're going with Spurs to score at least 1 goal against Man City, and the odds of that are 1.57. So as usual, I've put all these bets into one big accumulator, and the odds of this are 126.29. So if you put £10 on it, you get £1,262.86 back, which is not bad at all. Like I always say, it's very unlikely to happen, but only use small stakes or a free bet if you've got one. I always recommend picking maybe 2 of your favourite selections for each day, Saturday and Sunday, and put them together and make a double. What I always do is in the Telegram account, the free one, link in the description, on Saturday and Sunday I will give you my 2 favourite selections from all of these. And we normally do pretty well with that, so make sure you're in the Telegram and don't miss out. So remember guys, I'm going to try my best to get video out on Monday whilst I'm on holiday for the Tuesday and Wednesday matches, and then the week after that, next weekend, the video will be out on Friday when I come back. That's the plan. Busy boy. But if for some reason I can't get a video out on Monday, make sure you're in the Telegram account because I will put selections in there, okay? So the link is in the description. Make sure you get in there. It's completely free. Anyway, guys, let me know what bets you're going to do this weekend, what you think of these selections. Let me know in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do. And I shall see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Happy betting. Peace.